In this video, I'm going to be walking you through 5 strategies to improve your lead quality. So if you're tired of spending money on ads only to get broke people on the phone, then this is going to be one of the most important videos that you're going to watch. So if you just give me 10 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how you can attract high quality leads on your calendar about 80 to 90% of the time. The reason why it's not 100% of the time is because, people lie, right? So I've done this for my clients, and where our applications now look like this. We're attracting business owners that are making 60, 15,000 a month, more than 50,000 a month, right? And implementing this is part of the reason why we, on a brand new offer, by the way, because they didn't have a high ticket offer before working with me, literally less than 2 months ago, right? And actually, I think it's 2 months exactly. And now in January, we collected 50,000 in revenue and 30,000 cash collected. So trust me, I know the frustrations of spending money on ads and attracting the wrong people, where you have to jump through hoops just to get a close, overturning objection after objection just to get a deposit, or worse, these people join your program and they're the ones asking for a refund even though they haven't implemented anything, right? Dealing with no-shows once these people realize it's actually a significant investment that it takes to move forward, right? Losing closers and your sales team being frustrated because they're not actually getting the right opportunities to close and make money, and you're spending thousands of ads and not seeing the return that you want from them. Well, I'm going to show you how to fix that in this video. So I'm going to walk you through the 5 strategies to increase your lead quality, right? So the first thing is going to be your ads messaging, and this is probably the most important lever that you're going to pull. Typically, when you're attracting the wrong kinds of people, there is a mismatch. There's something in your messaging that's attracting those people, right? Nine out of 10 times, right? So I'm gonna walk you through an exercise here where I've gone through this. So I'm gonna show you some of the ads that we made for our client, and I'm gonna walk you through the ad. I'm gonna, I'll let you guess first what you think was actually attracting the wrong kinds of people. I'm going to give you the answer. I'm going to show you how we actually fixed it in our next iteration of the ads that we ran for these clients, right? So here's the first one.
House flipping versus land flipping, which is better to start in your real estate journey? But with houses, you do need a lot of upfront capital to pay for your contractors, to get estimates for repairs. But with land, house flipping versus land flipping, which is better to get started in your real estate journey? But with houses, you do need a lot of upfront capital to pay for your contractors, to get estimates for repairs. But with land, you actually need no upfront cash, right? All you are doing is assigning land to the developer, right? And then now with houses, there's a lot of high risk, okay? You're dealing with different contractors. You will lose a lot of money if things go left. But with land, there's no financial risk because all we are doing is flipping paper to developers and making 5 to 10K every single month per deal. Now with houses, you are going to have to be full-time and hands-on, meaning you got to manage the contractors. You got to make sure these guys are finishing on time. But with land, you're not dealing with no contractors. It's just dirt, right? All we are doing is finding the dirt and then supplying it to a home developer, right? Now with houses, a lot of high competition. As you guys can see, I know you guys are watching a lot of those HGTV shows where they're building these houses and putting on the market. As you know, there's just a lot of houses on the market. But with land, there's literally no competition, 0 to low competition. Not a lot of people know about this business model. And then with houses, you're going into debt with lenders, contractors, just a lot of money that you have to pay every single month until the house gets sold. And then with land, there's no credit check, all right? We are literally going direct to seller, asking them if they want to sell their property, and then just assigning it over to a home developer. Now, compared to these two, which would you choose? House flipping or land flipping? You decide. House flipping versus land flipping.
So what do you think in that messaging was attracting the wrong kinds of people? Right? I'm going to show you. At first, it says no upfront cash, right? Although we're talking about the business model not requiring lots of upfront cash, some people, for some reason, assume that there's no cost to get started. So they're not putting in mind that we have a code. Although we do say this on the next page for on our VSL, that there is an investment for our coaching program. It was attracting the wrong kinds of people who are just looking for quick money, that didn't require them investing anything, right? The second thing is the no credit check, right? So obviously we're talking about a business model, but people was attracting the wrong kinds of people who had bad credit or no credit, and people that want something that had no upfront cash. So although that is true for the business model, we charge 5,000. It's 10,000 for the program, 5,000 to get started, right? And you require good credit for the people who can't pay the 5K upfront. They do need some sort of credit to move forward. So we're getting a miss. There was in our messaging that was fucking us up, right? So okay, then we went to this ad.
The real money in real estate isn't in renovation. Stop trying to flip houses. Seriously, just stop. The real money in real estate isn't in renovations, rentals, or rehabs. It's in something.
This is the ad that actually was helping us get all of these business owners on the phone, right? The real estate ad. So if you look in here, and I'm going to show you why this one is better.
Stop trying to flip houses. Seriously, just stop. The real money in real estate isn't in renovations, rentals, or rehabs. It's in something way simpler that nobody's even talking about. Let me ask you something. If you had to choose between flipping houses with all the headaches and flipping raw land for the same profit in half the amount of time, what would you pick? I'm sure you've seen the house flipping shows on TV, right? Here's the truth, they don't tell you. For the average person starting out, flipping land beats flipping houses every single time. I'm Jeff from the Land Flipping Empire. We started out in a regular sales job, knowing there had to be a...
So, even in this is quite a long ad. It's 3 minutes long, right? And that's another thing. People that actually watch this whole video, they're a lot more nurtured, a lot more informed than just like a less than a minute video. But if you just see at the start, we target people who are actively already flipping houses. People are already in real estate. For them to do the harder business model, which is flipping houses, they need to have good credit already, right? They already required having upfront cash to put a deposit down for these houses so that they can fix it and flip it, right? They need good relationship with the banks. So the lead quality was completely different because we're targeting people not necessarily trying to just get into real estate. We're targeting people who are already in real estate flipping houses with this ad. And that's why the lead quality was literally like night and day difference between these two ads, right? Just that small tweak in messaging, when we're literally just targeting people already in real estate, flipping houses, and showing them there's a better or more model that can help them make the same amount of profit in less time, right? Appealing to people already doing that model. So the lead quality, just switching, I mean, we recorded these ads at the same time, but just switching these ads over, right, to where it was this one getting the leads, the lead quality was literally so much better. And that's how important messaging is.
Stop trying to flip houses.
Right? Let me show you another example. I've got another client here.
Hi, I'm Sarah, and I used to work as a support worker with children who had severe behavioural issues. Don't get me wrong, I loved helping these kids, but the job, it was draining. The kids I worked with were often violent, some self-harmed, and every day was just emotionally heavy. On top of that, I was commuting long hours, and as a single mum, that meant finding someone to watch my daughter, which wasn't easy or cheap. I was making about £35,000 a year, and by the time I paid childcare and my own living costs, barely anything was left. I knew something had to change. That's when I found an ad for this business analyst program from Digital Business School while searching for remote job opportunities on Google. And honestly, it changed my life. I didn't have any tech background or experience, but the program broke everything down and helped me step by step along my journey to transitioning into a BA. Fast forward 3 months and I started landing interviews. Then it came to job offers, and now I'm working as a customer service business analyst. Fully remote and no commuting. No paying for babysitters either. I'm home when my daughter finishes school. And the best part, I'm now making £55,000 a year, working less than 8 hours a day from home. It is so much more than just a career switch. It's a lifestyle change. I've got peace of mind, time with my daughter, and I actually enjoy my work. If you're thinking about doing it, take a leap. It is so worth it. Thank you to the Digital Business School team, my trainers, Aya and Penny, and the rest of the students in my class who helped me make it possible. Hi, I'm Sarah, and I used to work as a support worker with children who had...
Why was this ad attracting the wrong kinds of people, right? And it's actually subtle, right? So first, the thing is, this person, the avatar herself, she's a single mom, right? She's a single mom in support work, right? So because she's a single mom and she's also paying childcare for a kid, she didn't have that much money, right? So the ads was attracting that avatar with women who had kids, right? Maybe single moms that didn't have that much support. So, you know, they're a lot more risk adverse, right? We're attracting people who just didn't have that much money, right? Or maybe they're making money, but because they're responsible, there are people that are dependent on them that they have to take care of. They didn't have that much disposable income to actually invest into themselves. And especially with mothers, what you typically see is that they're more risk adverse because their first priority is just taking care of their children, which is, I guess, is how it should be. But they're less prone, they're less likely to actually take any risk. So although this ad was getting us sales, yeah, sure, but we weren't getting the best quality people on the phone, and it's led to us, you know, settling for deposits, or you know, people splitting payments, or having trouble with payments after we onboarded them on their on the payment plans, right? Another thing is support work. So this is actually contextual, because if you don't actually understand the industry, then you might just miss this. So support work in the UK specifically, right, which is where this offer is based, and the last one is in the US, but it's in support work. The whole industry is dominated by immigrants, right? So most of the people in this industry in support work, they're mostly immigrant workers. Now, the reason why that's poor for this offer is with immigrants, because they're not naturalized in the UK yet, none of them have great credit scores or a credit card because they didn't qualify for one, right? So they have no credit, no credit, and also they tend to make less money than the people who are necessarily here, right? And they probably have people that's dependent on them that they have to pay for. So we're getting a lot of immigrants on the phone where they've been in the UK a few years, etc. They have people they're taking care of, so they're usually making less as well, right? So support work is actually a low income industry, right? So it's a low income industry filled with immigrants. So even with the low income, they can't qualify for doing a credit. For doing credit to actually put it on a credit card to make it easier for us to close. And also we're attracting single mothers who had dependents on them, so they didn't have that much money to actually invest into programs. So yes, this ad made us sales. Yes, it was booking us loads of meetings, but don't get caught in a vanity metrics of, oh, I'm getting $20 a book call, right? What matters is the people on the phone, like the actual quality. Don't just depend on Facebook's vanity metrics to determine whether it's a good ad or not. Although this ad was profitable, we just weren't getting the best quality people. Now, when we switch to this ad over here.
So 3 months ago, I was scrambling for work. Today, I'm a remote business analyst on £60,000 a year. So prior to DBS, I spent 6 years in aviation as a pilot for EasyJet British Airways. Then last year, COVID wiped out my flying career. I ended up seeing an ad on Google for Digital Business School about transitioning to a BA to secure a high-paying tech role, earning up to £75,000 a year in just 3 months by taking the program. To be honest, I was skeptical. I'm sure at first. I learned in life when things sound too good to be true, they usually are. DBS isn't just another online course. They give you a complete roadmap, like teaching, hands-on practice, project experience. There's support until you land the role. And even after, you need help, which was massive for me because it was a complete career switch. Even when I got the certifications through the program, I landed my role at times when I started to have full confidence in myself. I got the first interview
across multiple countries and even earned my master's degree, but I was burnt out. I'd put in so much time and effort only to earn a log on in the mornings.
So I have spent most of the last 15 years working as an accountant, buried in spreadsheets, working crazy hours.
So you can see with these testimonials videos, right, that we use for an ad, the lead quality dramatically changed. First, with this ad, we're getting people who are actually UK citizens, which means they were a lot of them had credit scores, right, to buy homes, etc. You can see it's a slightly older demographic as well, right? And the industry that we're targeting are higher income industries than support work, because support work is usually like minimum wage, close to minimum wage, right? Whereas we are targeting with this one pilots that are making like 40k, teachers, accountants making 45k, etc. Higher income individuals in this ad, right, who are all they represent the target demographic that we were looking for. People already in careers but looking for something that could not just only making more money, because the thing is with make money offers and stuff, the only appeal that you're going for is to make more money, while the people who want to make a lot more money usually lack money in the first place, right? So it's a bit of a juxtaposition there. Even though you're selling a business offer, right, if you don't only want to sell with the angle of make more money, because that typically attracts people who lack money. That's why they want a lot more money, right? Whereas if you target things like, for example, additional work flexibility, so you can earn more, but also you have flexibility, so you don't have to work as much to make that money. You can work remote, right? So you're not attached to commuting. These are additional benefits that appeal to the right kinds of people, because maybe making money is not their problem. Maybe what appeals to them more is having the work flexibility, being able to work from home so they don't have to commute, so they're more comfortable, right? So not only will we be targeting, higher income people with this, right? With, in higher income industries and people who actually represent, the people that we want, right? We were also, targeting different benefits that opposed to not only just a make money thing. So work flexibility, having a free freedom of working remote as core benefits, which were attracting more of the right kinds of people. It was literally like a night and day difference. And what this led to is not only increasing our close rates, but the amount of people that paid in full, right? The amount of people that paid in full and our no-show, our actually show-up rate almost doubled. And all we did was change the ad. That's how much of a difference it makes having good lead quality, right? Now the next thing, and that messaging also transfers onto your VSLs and your landing pages as well, right? Okay, and shop rates, close rates, wherever all improve with a better ad, because at the end of the day, this is the initial touch point, right? You need to be attracting attention from the right kinds of people in the first place, to determine the rest of the things in the funnel to increase lead quality, right? Next thing is actually saying our price upfront. Right now, there's a big thing. I work with clients that they have some kind of hesitation of not saying the price up front, just not to scare off people from the phones. But what would you rather? Less calls, but with the best quality people, right, that are more likely to close, or you're kind of full, 8 calls a day, but 9 out of 10 times you're speaking with unqualified leads? What would you rather, right? We say our price up front, right, and it cuts the fluff with a lot of bullshit, you know, because you're stating your price to the people coming on. At least it's not a price objection the majority of the time, right? So we have our price in our VSLs, in the actual application forms, right, to let people know the price before even going further down in our funnel, and that kind of disqualifies unqualified people, right? Unqualified people mostly leave once they actually, you know, if the price is a thing that, you know, they just can't do, that pushes away, that dispels, you know, a lot of unqualified people by literally just saying your price up front, right? And that doesn't mean just say your price and the price is the price, but also include your, if you have financing options, include your financing options and how much that would break down to on a monthly basis, right? So we have up to 12-month financing, right? Up to 12-month financing, which can break down to $400 a month. You can say that too upfront, so that so that, you know, the people who can't afford to pay in full but can afford credit and which will be willing to take on can also have that information, so that they're not put off moving forward because they feel like they can't afford it, even though they've actually in principle they can, because they have you know, ability for credit. So yeah, the next thing is your conditional logic and your pixel conditioning, right? So we're using something like Typeform, so you can have our Typeform here. So all the people, like you can see here, where I don't want to be sharing, you know, sensitive information here, but you can see here, we see our workflow with our content, right? So yeah, that's it. So let's check our Typeform. So you can see here, right, we're letting people know, for example, the line flipping offer, right? We are letting people know the price up front and the cost associated with actually going in your program. Is there additional costs that they're going to take, or tools that you're going to recommend, right? We let them know, right? It's going to take 2-3K to help you land deals fast, right? Okay. We have 3 main packages: our accelerator, 5K, and an e-course, right? We say our price up front, and then we also say this can be spread across a payment plan, right? Okay. So we get serious people on the phones. A lot of people, you will see the drop off. If I see it, okay, you can see where a lot of people drop off here, right? To get the best results from our program, we recommend tools like etc, etc, etc. You can see the drop off here is 5%, right? And then when we say our price, we have our 3 main packages. Our drop off is 16%. So these are all the unqualified people being removed from our calendars, so we don't have to talk to them and we don't have to deal with these people, right? And that's how it should be. Okay. Boom, 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 right? And then so you can see, yeah, you can see, and that's, so don't be afraid of the drop off. This is what is meant to happen. You can see here when they put in their work situation, etc., nobody drops off, but a significant drop offs here is right here, and even, you know, when selecting who we work with, we have a 19% drop off here too, right? Okay, that's good. That means you're not getting unqualified. You're not wasting your time with unqualified people, right? Right. And then people go here to be able to, you know, booking a time to talk with us, right? So that's what you want. And on the workflow, you'll see right here all the unqualified people. You see here all the unqualified people are led to our unqualified, and then all the people that are qualified, you know. So for example, if someone is not making, is currently unemployed, they can't hit our calendars, right? Okay. If someone is, you know, making less than $1,000 a month, they can't book in a call, right? Okay. If they answer no to not being able to afford the tools, right, they're unqualified, right? If they say they're not ready for one-on-one coaching, right, you know, they're also unqualified, right? Okay. If they say no to our price, they're also move into the unqualified page, right? Now, what you can do is with a strategy when you're selling a high ticket offer, if you have like a low ticket, like an e-course, right? So we'll lead all the unqualified people to our e-calls, and that can help us liquidate our ad spend. So you also want to make money from unqualified leads, not just, you just don't want to be talking to them. You just don't want to be talking to them, but you want to make some, it would be great if you have an offer, that a lower ticket offer that unqualified people you can send unqualified people to, and that can help you liquidate your ad spend. So, you know, it doesn't cost as much to get qualified people on the call, right? You want to make money. Just because you have unqualified leads, that's a factor of the game, doesn't mean that you shouldn't be making money off them. So if you have a low ticket offer or something that you can recommend, have that there, right? And then all the qualified people are able to book in a meeting. Now the key thing is we're disqualifying all the unqualified people, right? And this is helping with our pixel conditioning, because we have it connected with a conversions API. So that's what I recommend with the ads. I'd use conversions API, so the events are coming in directly from the server side, and Facebook tracks it properly, right? So that your all qualified people are being sent back to your pixel. So you're training your pixel, you're conditioning your pixel to actually go for highly qualified prospects. That's how it should be. So all the people that are able to book in calls on their calendar, right? We set it up and go high level, where it says the funnel event back to go back to Facebook to let us know, okay, this person booked in a meeting. That's a qualified lead. But all the people that, you know, all the people that you can see in the results column, all the people that are unqualified, boom, 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 right? All the people that are unqualified are not able to book in a meeting, right? There's no pixel here, so you can see here all the unqualified people here go here to be able to get the e-course, right? But this page isn't tracked. This page isn't tracked. It's only tracked if they purchase something on the back end here, but all the unqualified people are not getting sent back to your pixel. And that's how you train your Facebook pixel to actually go after qualified leads, because you're telling Facebook the type of people that you want. Okay. Next thing is, on top of this, is when you're actually running ads, don't optimize. So I didn't actually so we've done the conditional logic here, and then the conversions API, which is actually the thing that does the pixel conditioning, right? But another thing actually missed out here is what you want to do is, on top of this, is you want to optimize for booked calls, scheduled booked calls. You never want to optimize for leads, right? 9 times out of 10, you don't want to be optimizing for leads. You want to be optimizing for booked calls, even when you're not running lead campaigns, right? Because at the end of the day, that's the event that you want. If you're optimizing for leads, then all the unqualified people that come from your ads, Facebook tracks that as a good result, as the result that you want, if you're optimizing for leads. Because Facebook will give you exactly what you're looking for. So if you're looking for leads, right, even if they can nowhere afford your service or your products, Facebook will give you leads, and it will track all of those people that are unqualified, right, that are going on to you, that are getting that lead magnet. Facebook counts that as a good result. So that's why you want to optimize for scheduled calls, so that the conditional logic filters out, the conditional logic above filters out all the unqualified people, and only the qualified people, well, unless people lie, right? Mostly the qualified people are getting sent back to your pixel. So you're training the Facebook pixel to go after those kind of people, not everyone that's in your leads. Because at the end of the day, more often than not, you're going to get more unqualified people than you get qualified people, right? There's more broke people than rich people. That's the name of the game. Then the next is pre-call assets, right? So all the points above covers getting high quality people, but that's only half of what it takes for someone to be a high quality lead, right? Yes, they need to be able to afford your service, right? But the next thing that actually affects being a high quality lead is education. Educated leads are high quality leads, right? You don't want people only finding out about what exactly you do and can offer them on the call, right? You want content assets, whether this is video or written. You want actually both, because people consume things in different ways, and people have preferences to how they consume information, right? That help educate people and pre-sell leads before the call. So literally booking in a lead is half the battle. Actually getting them to prioritize showing up is the next half of the battle, because as you know, if you've been running ads, right, if you book calls, you can get a lot of book calls, but a lot of businesses, and we still dealing with this, are plagued by no-shows, right? So yes, booking in a call, but if people don't actually show up, you don't have an opportunity to sell them anyway. So how do you get people to prioritize something? Well, it's by educating them on why it's actually important for them to show up, right? And the way you do that is by educating people on why it's important. So we can see here we have content assets like you have here, right? For example, which is our pre-call assets that educates people before the call. We show people the tools that they're going to be using, right? We show people, our student results, checks from our community, right? Why land flipping was formed, the backstory of the founders, right? Okay. And what's included in each tier. So below are the different investment packages to work with us. We have the autopilot here, right? Which is the 20K setup fee, what's included in it, right? The accelerator and the videos to actually accompany it as well, to explain exactly what is going to, the deliverables of the offer, how we're going to get the results, right? Showing them the process of, how we're going to get the results. So now people are more informed and actually see how this can actually help them or benefit their life, right? They're more inclined to actually then show up for the meeting because they've been educated, right? So you can see with the Done For You coaching, what's included in the e-course, right? Our guarantee. If people actually consume the information prior to the call, they are way more likely to show up. So we have that, and we also have something that's like a written format, which is a report on the land flipping opportunity compared to other opportunities. So for the people who want to just read and just get some information, we also have this report that goes through and compares land flipping to all the other business real estate models, right? Okay, and other make money opportunities in the space like Amazon FBA, etc., and showing why land flipping is a better model and a more efficient model for them than the others, right? Okay. Now, if people consume this information and they know the benefits of it and they're better informed, right? Not only do you have a high quality lead, right? That actually, not only do you have a lead that can afford your service, but you also have one that's actually educated and pretty much almost pre-sold, because these assets really, right, are there to actually sell people. Like the first half is selling people to booking a call. The second half is selling people on actually showing up, and right. So not only do you have, if you follow the first process, you have someone that more than likely can afford your service and they're aware of the price up front, right? But the second half is then educating these people, so they're actually pre-sold or pretty much pre-sold and better educated before the call. And that combination is what makes a high quality lead, right? That's what makes a high quality lead. Okay, so that goes over how to improve your lead quality and the 5 strategies to improve your lead quality. If you found that helpful, please like, subscribe, and leave in a comment on what you found the most insightful, what you're going to implement. If you want to work with us one-on-one to help you scale your high-ticket service or info product, we're here to help you. I'll leave a link below in the descriptions that you can click on to what some assets what's some assets and actually booking a call with us. If you want help with this to help you grow and scale your business. But thank you for watching.